Here with Jeremy Cordell, new head football coach of the Glenbard South Raiders, and you came over from Glenbard West, where you guys made an incredible run last year, and in the past 2 years, in fact, were you the defensive coordinator. Tell me, how's the transition been going from west to south? Same school district,
Sure.
A lot of similarities. You get to stay in the same home. How's the transition been going from one to the other?
Well, it's been good. You know, it's change is never easy, but it was it's definitely my choice and something I felt on my heart that I wanted to do and go after. It was a perfect scenario. I couldn't ask for a better scenario working within my same district. I love this district. I believe in the people here at Glenbard South. So it was an easy transition that way. The hard things, you get familiar with where you're at and you get comfortable with where you're at. So I miss the coaches that I coached with. I miss the players that I coached. But that's a new season. So I have new players and new coaches that I've embraced, and we have a good staff going here, and we have new players that I've embraced, and it's just carrying over and having more love for more people. So it's been a good transition. Like I said, change is not always easy, but change is good too. So as long as it's the right scenario, so I'm excited.
Glenbard West, you guys were just murderous. You lost in overtime in the state championship game a year ago. So when you take a program from where you came from, where you loved it there, you enjoyed your coaching staff, you liked the systems being run. Now you come to a new job. Do you change anything from what West was doing? Should we expect South to look like West? I mean, I almost think as a head coach, how do you explain doing anything differently from what they're doing? Because it's working. So is there anything that South's going to do differently than West, or what are you doing?
Well, it's basically the same two systems. We're going to be running double wing. We're going to be running the 3-5. The 3-5 will be identical because that's I was the D coordinator, so there won't be a lot of changes there. The double wing, there'll be some wrinkles. We want to play to our personnel and what we have, but for the most part, it'll be the same schemes, the same concepts. With twists. I think every offense you got to have somewhat of a twist to it, to who you have and who you can put there. But you're going to see somewhat of a mirror image, offensively and defensively, of what maybe you would have seen at West. And exactly right, Coach. I believe in the schemes that we had over there, and that Chad's done an amazing job with. And I think I would be a fool not to carry some of that over here and use that, because Chad's an incredible coach. I definitely learned a lot from him, and the other coaches I coach with. In addition to Chad. So like I said, and take the ideas here, also with the coaches that I have, because they're doing a great job. So make sure I take all that and meld it together and go from there. So yeah, absolutely.
So now that you are, is this your first head coaching job?
Correct. Yep.
So now you're a head coach for the first time. Is there anything that you've been wanting to do that now you get to do that you weren't doing before? Is there anything like that, whether it be special teams, offense or defense, something you had been waiting to do, or maybe learn from mistakes of, or some of the successes of others? Anything?
Sure. I would say offensively a little bit, just some simple ideas that I've thought over the years. Hey, with some different formations and different things that we can run, out of the double wing, and just kind of take and implement to what we're doing right now currently in our system. So little nuances like that, that might not look exactly, like a West. So just things that you can play with as a coach, like once again playing to the strength of your personnel. Systematically, I believe in a disciplined system. I think we were very disciplined at West. West is a very disciplined football program, and I think I'm hoping to carry that over here. And a lot of the systematic things that we're doing, and a lot of the checks and balances that we have with players and the expectations. So yeah, of course, there's always going to be different nuances, and I'm a different coach than Coach Hetlett is, and we're similar in a lot of ways, but we're both different too, and I think that's a good thing. And I think you play on your strengths, and so yeah, you'll see some changes, but once again, you're going to see a lot of the good things that I think that I accomplished as a coach over there, and that I learned to kind of bring over here and transfer over to here.
Now tell me, you get to speak a lot at clinics and on your defense. Sell us, why the 3-5-3? Why do you believe in it? Why is it what you do?
There's not a better defense to run in the high school. I just truly believe that. I think you can find 3 down linemen to play and 4 down linemen to rotate in any high school program. I really do. I think you can always find that hybrid guy who's maybe an inside backer, maybe an outside backer, and you can find those guys to play outside backer or vice versa, wherever they fit in. you can always find those tweener kids. There's a lot of tweener kids in high school. It's like, well, where do they fit? So, you can always find an outside backer. You can always find a guy, in our system, our safety and our middle linebacker have to be that guy who goes to the ball, who's an animal on the field. I think you can always find a couple guys to do that. You can't, it's not always hard, it's not always easy to find 4 or 5 big defensive linemen. That doesn't always come in every single program. I believe from a 1A program to an 8A program, you can find those guys that can fit within the 3-5. You can find 3 inside backers. You can find a hybrid type guy who's maybe not a corner, maybe not an inside backer who plays outside backer. So you can find, and then 3 D linemen that can get the job done. So I just think it's very flexible with whatever program you go to and your numbers. I think it's very applicable, and you can find those guys to run that system.
Now, in your system, you run a nose that's technically a 2-gap player.
Yep.
You got to be tougher nails to get that done. What are you looking for in that guy, or what are some things you do? Does he just have to pass the eyeball test? What kind of guy is going to play that nose?
Well, it's definitely eyeball. And it's a couple different ways you can go with it. I've seen short, squatty, fire hydrant type guys get that job done where they can get leverage and button press in that center and 2-gap. I've also seen those quick guys that can just get off and strike right away and then get off, not pick it aside, but be able to get off a block. So I've seen it done both ways. I'm looking for a guy who, once again, who's tough, who's gritty, who can get off the ball fast and can button press that center and really control. We got to keep him from being, he's got to be able to take on that double team. If he's single blocked, we're done. He's got to be able to take on that double team. So, it's just what we believe in. A lot of 3-5s out there do the slant, and that's okay. I used to run it that way as well, but it's just not what I've come to believe in now. So I believe in that 2-gap. I think you can find one guy in your program that can get that job done. And his job every day, he'll run that nuke drill where he's butting and pressing, and he's either taking on that double team and feeling pressure, or so he's working through those things every single day. It becomes muscle memory. So I think you can find one guy to really get that job done and own it.
In the past 2 years, Glenbard South's been very, very good. They've been to the quarters twice, and in both games they competed like a great football team. Tell me, when you come in, you get film, you watch, I believe as a coach you're probably looking for, where can we improve? Where are some areas that Glenbard South can improve that you're focusing on?
Yeah, I think, the last 2 years offensively, Glenbard South has been a pretty heavy pass team. It's been a spread team. And with the double wing, you're just going to see a different look, So I think really just trying to change the mentality of really just trying to pound the ball a little bit. And I know it sounds very archaic, and it is what it is, but we're really trying to concentrate on really trying to pound things and grind things. So maybe just from a standpoint of physicality a little bit, you're not going to see as much of a spread game. You're not going to see as much of a perimeter game. You'll see more between the tackles type look. So that's a change. That's somewhat of a drastic change from a spread to what we're trying to accomplish on offense. But I think that would be one of the biggest changes that you would see.
Mm-hmm. And are there any, what would you say is the biggest focus of let's improve this and we can take this to the next level, getting to a championship level like
Sure.
the West? Is there anything that sticks out? If we can help improve here, we could be a championship program.
Well, I think, and not just at South, but I think at any high school program, in order to be at the upper echelon of a program, no matter where it is, whether it's South, whether it's Alton, no matter where, I think you have to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Your coaches, your players, and your expectation level is nothing but the highest. If you want to accept crap, you'll get crap. So I truly believe that as a head coach. Your head coach has to be a good communication relay to your assistant coaches. Your assistant coaches have to be a great communication relay to your players. Well, that's in individual time, that's in team time, and there's always time to improve, always. And it's not cutting corners. I think little things add up to big things. And when you're cutting corners, we're running a sprint, or you're cutting corners in an individual drill, it's your job as a coach to make sure that those drills and those sprints and the speed training and the lifting, everything's ran with efficiency and with a purpose. Not everything in football has to be physical, but it's got to be with a purpose, and it's got to be with intent. So everything we do has to be with intent, with purpose, and with a passion. I want the kids to have fun, and I keep telling the kids, having fun is playing football 100 miles an hour and let it all hang out. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to get chewed by a coach. But you know what? Make a mistake going 100 miles an hour. So that's just the biggest thing. I think whether it's at South or any program, I think you you stick to your guns and say, listen, the little things are going to add up to big things, and no matter what, we're not going to cut corners, and we're going to make sure that we're a culture of getting after it, that we're passionate in everything we do, whether it's on the field, off the field, the classroom, and I think that's a recipe for success.
Last thing, Coach, I noticed right at the end of your little practice, you had passed out some Gatorades to some guys. It looked like a good idea. Where'd you get it, and what do you guys do?
You know, just coaches talking. I've been a big proponent in the past where on defensive time, I still do this, during defensive team time or 7-on-7, if we get decleats or reroutes or picks, we'll set a certain goal during practice. If they meet that goal, then we'll get the whole defense or offense Gatorades. But what we're doing, this is actually an award we call it Flip Your Switch Award. And basically it's just, once again, it's establishing that physical mentality that we want out of our kids. So we pick one guy on each side of the ball, the first team and then the win team on the sophomore level and the varsity level. So we pick one guy who's the most physical kid that day, the kid who shows the most effort, finishing blocks, making tough tackles, those types of things. So we pick one guy, so 4 guys get it each day, and it's just a reward to basically say, this is a stamp on our program to say, hey, we want our players to be physical, and you're going to be rewarded, and you're going to be told that, hey, you're doing a great job when you're doing those things. So it's called a Flip Your Switch Award.
I like it a lot. Coach, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Should be a great season, and I can't wait to see when you guys get to go to battle with West. But thanks again for having us.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thanks. Good luck.
Ready?